Hey y'all, I want to welcome y'all to this channel. It's a Chicago Vibe podcast. We'll be dropping this Saturday with your girl, Lady T. Marie and Mr. Success. You don't want to miss it. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T. Marie with It's a Chicago Vibe. And today we have a special guest by the name of Stacy Savic. He is a film director and a producer. Stay tuned.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confident. It's a belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. All right, everybody. Welcome back to It's a Chicago Vibe with me,
DJ Mr.
Lady T.
Success.
Marie, and our special guest, Stacy Savic. Welcome to the show, Stacy.
What up? What up?
Nice to have you. Nice to have you. And first of all, I just want to ask you, how have it been making the transition from Chicago to LA? How you been living out there?
Man, well, you know, paradise ain't easy, but you know what? It was worth it because now ain't no more winter out here. That's the life. That's the life.
Yeah, well, Cali, LA, a nice place to visit for me, but I wouldn't want to live there. I'm a man of change. But first of all, tell us a little something about your lifestyle as a film director, producer. How's that lifestyle been treating you?
Well, you know, for real, it hasn't been easy. When I moved, you remember when I was in Chicago, I was doing movies and everything, and I thought I was doing pretty good, and I was doing pretty good. But when I came out here, people I was working with out here told me that I had to forget everything that I learned in Chicago. That everything I learned in Chicago was the wrong way, and I had to relearn everything again. But the experiences that I did have got me a foot in the door, you know, so that was a good thing. But I did have to go back to school and just start all over again, humble myself and start from the bottom. You know, so it was a challenge to just start all over again, start everything that I knew, you know, back from scratch.
Wow.
What's up?
So, what are some of the things that was different from Chicago that you learned in film school in Chicago versus LA?
Well, I related to working on cars, you know. Chicago filming was kind of like that alley mechanic, you know, you get the job done, but you know, the car might be a little greasy, you might miss a bolt here or two, but you know, it worked out good. But out
Right.
here, you know, it's like working at the car dealership. You work on a whole nother level. You working on with brand new high-end parts, high-end cameras, right? You got a whole nother thorough knowledge of how everything works. And then going back to school, you know, I knew a lot, but I didn't know what I didn't know, so to speak. So there was so many things that I did learn about angles, composition, colors, and you know, how to do things. You know, before back home, I would take 1,000 photos and like 10 or 20 of them would look perfect. Now out here, I learned why those 10 or 20 were perfect, and I learned how to repeat that process, so I don't have to take 1,000 photos. I could take that one photo, two photos, and those are perfect photos because now I know why, you know, the color looks right. I know why the angles look right. I know how to pick everything out, you know.
That's what's up. And I know you have been doing a lots of work, but for one, I just want to know what was like one of your favorite projects and why that you have worked on.
Well, there's 3 recent projects that I worked on. One was telling a little bit about my story, my life story back home and things that happened to me before, you know, before I made it in the industry or before I became who I am today. And that actually won Best Film of the Year at the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, who runs the Oscars. And then the second movie I did after that was called The Stark Reality, where the writer it was a story about a son and a father, and the son gets addicted to opioids because of prescription drugs. And in the movie, we see the father and son, they start off with a close relationship and they grow apart because of the drugs. And at the end, just when the son realizes what he's done, the father passes away. And that actually got an Oscar nomination for Best Film. And then the last one I just recently did was a SAG feature film. It was a $250,000 budget. I produced the whole thing from scratch. It won 20 awards. It's up on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now. You can go watch it if you want. It's called The Memory Scanner, but it's a terrible movie. I don't promote it that much, but hey, I didn't write it. I didn't write it. I was hired to make it, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
So what got you interested in like creating movies and wanting to be behind the camera?
Well, you know, back when me and y'all were on the block, and I think I just got fired from a job, and I can't remember his name, but he moved to St. Louis. We were standing there. It was like, man, how can we make things happen? We were tired of being broke. We wanted to be creative, and we were both like, man, what do we do? And I'm like, well, let's do some kind of filming, you know, because we just need a camera to do that. And you know, he moved to St. Louis and he did his music thing, and I stayed in Chicago, and I bought that little Sony Handycam, you know, and I was just running around with the Sony Handycam just trying to be creative, you know. But it really started roots back when I was 11 years old, and I remember some people took me in as a kid, and they had a home camera, and I just started filming like little funny skits and stuff. You know, it kind of grew from there. That passion grew from there. You know?
That's what's up. And you talk about the Sony camera. I do remember years of talk. We used to always talk about purchasing the camera. That was, you always want to purchase the camera. I'm looking like I'm more into music right then, but you see now it led me close up to it, just watching what you do. But that leads me up to my next question. You know, what are some of the things you do preparing for a film? How do you work with the cast and the production team to keep everybody like on the same page? Because I know sometimes it's difficult to get different personalities to work with each other. How did you process doing all that, getting them to work with each other?
Well, that goes to another thing about working out here is everybody understands the chain of command. There's only one leader on set, and everybody understands that. Back home, that was the difference. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to, you know, give the, and you know, a lot of times that's fine. It's fine to express yourself, but you have to understand there's a chain of command. There's the director, there's the producer, there's the, you know, the executive producer, and a lot of times the director and the producer have the entire movie in mind. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times a camera guy or someone will come out and be like, I got this great idea for a shot. Sure, it's a great idea, but does it fit with the next scene or the previous scene, or does it go with the flow of the actual movie? And sometimes it really doesn't. So with that being said, if there's no chain of command, that camera guy will be like, I'm going to film this, and they start filming it, but you can't use it in the grand scheme because, you know, it doesn't fit, you know. But out here, everybody understands the chain of command. So what I do is I make sure first off, everybody is comfortable to express their feelings, to express their ideas and everything like that, but express it directly to the director or directly to the producer. Don't talk to the actors. You know, don't speak to the lighting guy. Don't speak to, you know, the grip and everything like that. Or lighting, don't tell the camera guy, hey, look at this shot. That'll be great. You know, come straight to the director. You know, a lot of times a camera guy will start directing an actor, and that just confuses the actor. You know, because the actor has to stay focused and focused and listen to one person only. You know, just like a boxer. If a boxer's in the ring, it's the coach on the side of the ring, and that boxer is listening only to that coach. not the water boy, not the guy holding the stool, not the one ringing the bell, but to that coach. And if everybody start talking to that boxer, he gonna lose because he don't know who to listen to. So it's really important, the chain of command, and everybody out here in LA understands that. Like this picture behind me, everybody understands their role. The fighting people understand their role. The camera person understands their role. All these people in the background, they understand their role, and we get a really good shot.
What's up? That's what's up.
What do you have coming up next, and do you have anything you're working on now?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on my second feature film. I just finished a TV show called The Clinic, a comedy. It's about, you guys ever seen Scrubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Scrubs, but in the hood.
Wow.
So it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny as fuck.
Yeah, I'm laughing right now.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm trying to remember the name. Milestone. That's it. I don't know why I can't remember the name for the life of me. But right now I'm just finishing up producing a movie called Milestone, which I didn't write, but I'm producing it and doing a little directing. It's a screenplay that takes place in the 60s during a lot of racial unrest between two milk companies. The white people, they want this other company out because they're primarily African American, so they want them out of the city.
Wow.
They want everybody out the city. So what they're doing is they're offering everybody free milk that goes with the African American people. So there's a lot of conflict because white people are losing their jobs and losing everything because the other people are fighting against us, and they don't understand if they just come together,
right,
everybody will be great. But the twist is all this happens during an alien invasion, and the alien invasion. But the aliens, they're not trying to invade, they're trying to help everybody. They're trying to help everybody, see that peace, how to achieve peace between each other, but nobody wants to listen. Neither side wants to listen. Both sides want to fight,
Wow.
Which I actually play an alien. I play an alien in this movie.
I actually saw some of the shots you put up on TikTok and stuff.
Oh yeah, you saw that, huh? Yeah.
Look like those real crafty people that's doing the makeup and stuff.
Yeah, they were super talented. It was 4 hours that I had to sit perfectly still like this. I couldn't move or rest, and just like that 4 hours straight.
Well, my next question is, who are some known people you have worked with before you moved to LA while you're in Chicago, and since you've been in LA? Who are some known people that you have worked with?
I've worked with and met so many people. I met Steve Harvey out here. I've met a lot of producers that probably wouldn't know the names of. I just recently met the producer of one of the Godfather movies, in Juno. I met John Singleton's daughter. I met the man that did the storyboard for what is that? The movie where all the monkeys take over the planet.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. but yeah, I met him. Who else have I met? That was out here, and before here, I worked with Rick Ross, Twista, Do or Die, Lil Wayne's producer. A lot of big names that I can call on. And a lot of people, a lot of them saw a lot of talent in me, and I still talk to him to this day. Like AK from Do or Die, he still hits me up every once in a while, just say what's up. Same thing with Lil Wayne's producer, he hits me up every once in a while, say what's up, see how I'm doing and everything.
Wow.
They're just waiting me to do that big thing you know. Oh, and another show I'm working on a reality show with Tommy Gunn. Tommy Gunn is a huge famous porn star. He's been in the game for like 30
Oh
years.
yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, and he's doing a reality show on himself and how he's trying to separate himself from the adult industry. He wants to get out of
Mm,
the industry, but he has such huge roots in that industry. It's really difficult for him to get out, and
wow.
he has a lot of problems getting any like real gigs or real relationships or even a real job, even a regular job, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Because
gotta.
he attached himself to the industry. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of people in that industry that, in the beginning it was all, glam, but now,
Mm,
10 years later, 20 years later, they're known for it and they want to get out, they want to separate themselves, but they can't, you know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that goes with any type
Wow.
of actors. I remember actors like Steve Urkel, Jimmy Walker, and stuff like that. Those are people that couldn't find, steady work after their careers anywhere. Because I guess if you do a character so well, that's what
Yeah,
people gonna want to
they get
know you
You
is
stuck.
stuck
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with
they
you,
get
right?
that's what they call it, pigeonholed into one character and they can't break themselves free. And that's what a lot of people don't see when they want to get into acting is that you get pigeonholed into one thing and it can ruin your career and only a select few can break free from that.
Right.
Like look at Jamie Foxx is one that did break free. He was known as a comedian from the get-go,
Right.
but he changed, he separated himself and he changed, and now he's a great dramatic actor. Then he was a great comedian too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart,
Absolutely.
yeah, Kevin Hart is trying to break free, and I work with his manager on another show that I do every week. Um, but he has so many problems that
Wow.
life problems that it keeps him where he's at, you know.
Mm,
What's up? Yeah, you got to be careful for what roles you take. Ain't nothing wrong with
mm-hmm.
turning the part down. Trust me, I know I've turned a couple down because
Right,
I'm not gonna be a guy with my pants sagging at the age I am, just talking
right,
that way. That'll get stuck with me,
right,
and that just close the window on my career. So, but this
right.
brings me to my next question. Because I know I get inspired off things I've seen in the past. What are one of your favorite movies of all time, and why?
One is hard to pick because there's
Yeah,
so
because
many.
I know that's the same
You
with me. So
know?
you could throw a few out there, shots be like, I like this for this, like that for that, because it is hard. That's why I say just throw a couple
Well,
out.
Back to the Future was one of my favorites. I watched that 1,000 times. Fast and Furious, the first one especially, I watched that 1,000 times. Now I like that movie, not because the cars and everything, all that's awesome, but the story behind it is just regular people trying to do, you know, things, realistic change, in life. Paul
Mm-hmm.
Walker is a police officer trying to change the lives of people, criminals, but they become family. And he's trying to show them like, hey man, you don't have to do this. We can just be good. Um Robert Rodriguez comes to mind with El Mariachi, was the prequel to Desperado. He made that movie with $7,500 in his pocket with a film camera, and the way he put it together, he did it in Mexico. It cost him only $7,500 and was one of the biggest movies
Mm,
out there, even bigger than
wow.
what's that witch movie, you know, that was done with the iPhone. I forgot the name of that movie too, but yeah, and he did a great job. There was explosion, there was guns and action and everything he did with $7,500, and just how he did it is
Wow.
is what's inspiring. He had everything organized to the T, every shot organized. He got the help, he got the right people involved where they had his back. They knew the chain of command. They knew what they did, and they believed in him so much that they did exactly what he needed them to do, and because they did it right, it became a great movie. It got picked up, and he was given 350,000 to do Desperado, and that
Wow.
moved everything along for him. That's why he is who he is. That's how he made it, and that's kind of what I want to do. You know, I just need that $7,500 to make that happen now.
Now I was asking, would you relocate like from LA, or you just confined to one state?
No, I wouldn't move anywhere because I'm really, I don't want to say I love it. I do love LA, you know, because it's beautiful out. It is literally paradise out here in a lot of parts. You know, a lot of people don't underestimate LA a lot, and they don't see it for what it is. But no, I travel. I love to travel. I love going everywhere. I've been to New York. I've been to like almost every single state, and I added it up to like 32 states in the country.
Wow.
You know, you name it, Florida, Atlanta, New York, Texas. I've been a lot of places, but LA just fits right because it's the industry. You know, it's where it's where I'm supposed to be.
That's
Man,
real.
Hannah, you came back and visit only a couple of times since you've been here, so I know it's love.
Hey, but you know what? Chicago will always be home. Chicago
Right.
will always be home. I do miss the food out there because food out here is questionable at best. But you know, I do miss home a lot. You know?
That's what's up.
Wow.
And my next question is, what do you think makes a great film? Like, what does it take? What does some of the processes of making a great film?
That's a good question. A lot of people will say like everything has to be perfect in a movie, and that's not really the case. That's not what makes a great movie. A great movie is a good script, good actors, good people that have your back, and there's always going to be problems on every single set. I was working on one set where they expected everything to be perfect at all times, and when one little thing messed up, it was a lecture. And because of that kind of thinking, you know, it just fell apart towards then. It just started to unravel. But I've also worked on sets where things were falling apart all over the place, but because of the positive attitude and how can we fix it? I don't care what happened, how do we fix it? Type of attitude. It came together, it would come together, everything would be perfect, and the end product was a great movie, you know. So the ability to roll with the punches, the ability to know how to handle mistakes and errors and things like that, and work with what you have instead of wishing about what you don't have. Those make the best films, and a good script too. You know, good people and a good script. Anybody can make a good movie.
That's what's up.
Wow. I would love to work with you one day,
Oh
because
yeah.
we definitely into creating some content like outside of It's a Chicago Vibe. I
Right.
really want to do like a reality show with the artists, because I work around a lot of artists in Chicago. So I really want to do like a sort of kind of, can be scripted a little bit, but like do a reality show for that. So
Yeah, well, you
yeah.
know, when we do reality shows out here, we do it called lightly scripted, where
You're right.
you write stuff up, you write um questions, you write, you know, just one lines saying, okay, we want to talk about this, we want to talk about that. That way everything is organized. When you have no script at all, people kind of just ramble on, you know, and
Right.
and you can't really use it. And then there's a lot of
Right.
you know, and they don't have to say, you know, they got to stop and think. But when you have a lightly scripted thing, just like you sent me these questions, I knew what to say, you
Right.
know,
Right.
because I prepared myself.
Right.
That
preparation.
yeah. Not only does that make it run smoother, it saves money in the long run, because you're not wasting film and hours trying to figure out what to say on set or what angle you're going to have on set or things like that. You know, what me and that reality show I'm filming, it's 2 months in the planning of where we're going to shoot, what we're going to shoot, what he's going to say. You know, and I'm not like strictly on, okay, you're going to say this. No, I wrote like one-liners, bullet points. Okay, in this scene, we're going to talk about this. This scene, we're going to talk about this. In this scene, we're going to shoot it here and talk about this. So, you know, things like that make it go a lot faster, saves you tons of money, and it's more professional in the long run. And that's how people want to work with you. You know, that's when the good camera guys and good grip and good actors that want to work with you because they see you're professional.
Well, on that note, we're going to stay tuned and we're going to go to a small message and we'll be right back.
Message.
Hey you, do you feel your back is up against the wall with nowhere to go or turn? Mental illness is real. And if you or someone you know is battling with this demon, try Jesus. This commercial is sponsored by the Lord.
Dear God, thank you for the gift of family and friends. Bless everyone, for they deserve all the goodness you have given to me. May the love that binds us only grow stronger as we fulfill the destiny you have laid out for us. Protect us against any and all problems we may encounter in the future. Give us strength to overcome all of the difficulties that we are dealing with now. Heavenly Father, bless us, Lord. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, everybody. Welcome back to It's a Chicago Vibe with me, Mr. Success, Lady T, and our special guest, Stacy Savic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And before we get out of here, Stacy, tell the people where they can find you at on social media.
Oh, social media, Stacy.Savic, STACY.SAVIC is my Instagram, and you can pretty much find me everywhere on that right there.
Before we get out of here, Lady T, you know the business. Hit the people with the words of affirmation.
Today's affirmation is never give up. Go for whatever you have, you know, whatever you desire, whatever you want God to do in your life. Never give up because the sky is the limit. Continue to fight for what you desire and what you love. I'm your girl, Lady T. Marie, signing off with It's a Chicago Vibe. Sending love to the world and hugs to them thugs.
Yes, sir. And you know my motto when you with Mr. Success, you always have a ball. If I can't tell the truth, it's nothing at all. Mr. Success, bringing pleasure, no stress. Until next week, y'all, peace.
Peace out.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, 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 C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's